Maniacs, we are back. Day 2 of 5 p.m., 5 minutes with Eleni Anastos and me talking about money. So what's the topic today, Eleni?
We're talking about really owning your own value so you can charge what you're worth.
Absolutely. And lots of us don't do that. So anybody who's tuning in right now for the first time, I'm Szebastian Onne. This is Almost Naked Conversation with Szebastian Onne. And Eleni Anastos is the founder of Business Insights Now. And both Eleni and I love talking about money. And I have, once again, found my love for money. And is that a bad thing, Eleni, to love money?
No, absolutely not. And I think like anything in our reality, it's whatever meaning we want to apply to it. So why shouldn't money have a positive meaning in your world?
Right. And one thing that people struggle with is owning their own worth and, people deciding what they should charge and is it right amount to charge. And they begin with the biggest mistake of comparing their worth with somebody else. So let's tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, it's one of the biggest struggles that I see, and I would be curious for any entrepreneurs that are listening that, do you know that the value or the service or the product that you provide is worth way more than what you're charging? Or even if you're in corporate or have some type of a regular job, do you know that, again, the amount of work that you do is still worth way more than what you're compensated for? And I think initially, like you referenced the comparison-itis, as I call it, trying to compare to someone else. And you can't compare two separate things. People try
I like that. Comparison-itis. Is that, I think that, yes, we do that. We, recently, me and with my business partner, Alicia, we were trying to price something, and we began with trying to research what others are charging. And then we're like, no, we got to charge what we are worth, what value we provide. And I've done that a lot in my life. So, and this is, I think we start undermining ourselves right then. Right?
Without question, and entrepreneurs that struggle with that, and I understand, you start a business and you're so anxious to make a sale and close a deal. I get that. And often that's part of the reason, we'll just do whatever we can do to close that deal. But if that continues, then it's not going to be possible for that entrepreneur to show up in an empowered way and to feel really good about what they're offering. And you can't sustain a business like that either. If you're constantly lowballing yourself, how are you going to sustain any business growth?
So true. And I think we also create a negative and a bad habit for ourselves and the client, because once you undercharge, now when you realize, I've been undercharging, I need to, raise my price, or actually, I would not even say raise my price, bring my price to where it should have been. Then the client is unhappy because they've gotten used to getting it all at a very low price, and suddenly, go on.
The clients, though, I'm thinking, when obviously we need clients. We're in business, we need clients. But then I also question, if you keep lowballing and undercharging, and that your expertise, your service, your product is worth more, are you attracting the ideal clients? That's a big question too, because if you are really, if you want to attract people that are just looking to get the best deal in town, I just want the cheapest price for this service, then you're only attracting people that are looking at price. They're not looking for price, cost, not value. And you can't, price and value aren't the same thing. And I think too many people get caught up in that.
Absolutely. And this is something we're going to talk a lot about in detail on January 31st, is it? Yes, January 31st at 4 p.m. on Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, on Almost Naked Conversation on Romaniac TV. So guys, if you're just tuning in, you're watching this live at Romaniac TV on Facebook, And you can also watch us on www.romaniac.com/live on Thursday, 31st January at 4 p.m. Until then, Eleni and I are bringing one nugget each day, talking about various touchy topics about money that people are too scared to talk about. Yesterday, we had a little, conversation about having the healthy relationship with money, and today we are talking about owning your own value. And this is such a big challenge. And Eleni, this is the thing, people associate money with some kind of a shame. It's like it's an embarrassing topic. It's like a taboo. I don't know why.
It is. Well, and we're going to dig into that a lot on Thursday as well. And I know that it's connected with how we grew up and what we were exposed to. Because the reality is, when you're a young child, I mean, prior to the age of 7, you don't see the world as it is. You see it as you are, because you can't make a conscious choice of whether this is right or whether this makes sense or not. And especially where money is concerned, if we see the adults in our world struggle, or in our close environment, we just see people struggle with it. We think that that the whole universe struggles with money and that nobody can have it. When the reality is, that's your perception of it, but people carry that with them into adulthood. And that's what I'd like to break through, is for them to realize that may have served you well at a certain age, but we really have to look at those limiting beliefs they grew up with.
And we're going to talk about how it helped me just recently, since you coming into my life. But on that note, we're out of time. So I just want to say, guys, if you like this conversation, if you find this useful, this is just a tiny teaser of what's going to come. So we're just going to go. But before we go, once again, you are watching Almost Naked Conversation with me, Szebastian, Onne, and my guest, Eleni Anastos, who's the founder of Business Insights Now.
Yes.
And you can check her website right now, just the same name, businessinsightsnow.com. And there's a little test for you. Go and find it. And we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much, Eleni. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel.
Bye.
See ya.